What are some of the things you need to let go to get to that next level? Yeah, females, yeah, because those females are not important, more important than that female. Did you hear what I just said? Those females, ain't nobody telling you not to be social, but those females that are distracting you are not more than that female. And who am I talking about? How many of y'all feel like literally, for real, your mama deserves to get out of that situation she in right now? For some of you, how many of y'all mamas deserve to get out? How many of y'all moms have the ability right now on their own to make 40, 50 mil? Let me see your hand for your mom. But how many of you have a chance to do it for your mom? Let me see it. Man, you gotta have that dog. You gotta take that personal, bruh. You gotta take that personal, that your mama is counting on you. So next time you wanna drink and act a fool, just do me a favor, FaceTime, like, yo, Ma, I just want you to see what we doing, Ma. I'm doing this for you. For real, I could go all around and do that same thing, and some of y'all partying and hanging out with people when I could fool with 2,000 people that you probably gonna be cool with one. And you are willing to risk your mama's future for some people you ain't even gonna know 15, 20 years from now. People you're not even gonna be hanging out with. Get over the low self-esteem, get over trying to prove stuff. Right, so we already know what happens if we fail, right? We know what that looks like, don't we? We know what failure looks like, so we need to give what a chance? We need to give victory a chance. So I ain't gonna lie, I was scared to get the master's degree. I was scared to get the PhD because I couldn't really write that way, right? And I was like, I told my professor, what happens if I fail? He said, what happens if you pass? I said, but what happens if I don't get it? What happens if I put in all these years and it don't work out? He said, but what happens if you put in all these years and you get it? And I got it, and it has changed my life. Doors have opened for me that couldn't open for me in education without my PhD. Because I got to stay hungry. I don't want to use titles that make me look sweet. I don't want to use titles that make, I try to keep it humble. I walk around, I don't even want people to know who I am. Why? Because I still want to have that dog. I still need to stay hungry. And when you got pride, it gets in the way of you being hungry. And you need that hunger. That's why I talk about slavery. Not because I want to be reminded of it, but I remember how hungry they were, trying to be free. I remember they used to get caught. I remember they used to get lynched. I remember they used to go to prison. I remember the dogs used to attack. What? They was fighting for something. They freedom. And I'm still fighting for something. We gotta eat, y'all. I'm #1 in the world. How long you think that's gonna last? You think that's gonna last for 20 years? You think it ain't no kid out there watching me who gonna be better than me in the next year or two? You think I'm gonna be #1 forever? So while I'm #1, let's eat. While I'm #1, let's get every gig we can get. While I'm #1, let's do corporate. Let's do NBA. Let's do NFL. Let's do Major League Baseball. Let's do soccer. I got clients in every one. We gonna eat. And y'all do that little stuff about you gonna eat, but y'all ain't got no doggone motor. You get tired quick. You practice for 1 or 2 days, you wore out. You do a couple hours, you tired. But yet you competing against people right now, that's their lifestyle. And you think they about to let you take their lifestyle? What's gonna separate you from everybody else? What's gonna separate you from everybody else? What are you gonna do to separate yourself? Because a lot of you don't see that what's gonna take you to that next level that's gonna separate you from everybody else, because you gotta have something that separates you. I love Chris to life, but because of how Chris approached it, he kind of just really focused on one aspect of it, right? It's a whole bunch more. So when I looked at it, I didn't look at it as you're this, and that. I looked at it as, here, you got to do business, you got to do relationships, you got to support other people, and you have to be accurate, right? So when I looked at it, I saw the character of God. All 4 is who he is, but most humans can't be all 4 at once. It's just not possible. So it's not that I'm this, or that. It's when I'm in these different situations, I need to be this, or this. So when I'm in a relationship, I need to be a high I, or I'm not gonna have good relationships. So it's not that I need to be a gorilla 24/7, but when I'm doing business, I need to be very demanding and driving. But when I'm working with C, I need to be supportive because he's a leader. So he don't need me to try to be a leader because he's a leader. But as I look at the company as a whole, I'm like, where the gap is the accuracy. It is when God said, let's make this on the first day, and this on the second day, and this on the third day. After he did that 6-day boy, everything, the rest of creation could rest on those 6 days. Those 6 was so accurate and so profound and structured
and the systems, the ecosystem, everything was done in those 6 days. So if the world went another 20 million, it could go 20 million on those 6 days. Nothing else was missing after those 6 days. And God was like, yo, when you do what you do, you don't always go through the 6 days. You might do 1 day, 2, and you rush. Like your nature is you rush through stuff. So you really need to focus on this C thing where you don't need to change what you do, but the structure or the systems, the infrastructure that supports what you do, you need to take that to another level. So I didn't see it as you're this. I saw it as here are 4 elements that people are always in and out of, and I need to get thorough in all of them so that I'm not dominant. Because there's some people that can make money, but their relationships are terrible. Right? Some people got sweet relationships, but their money whack. Some people like phenomenal, but they don't have no systems, no structure. So when they start, they might be phenomenal for, like, you look at P. Diddy. I don't know what P was on, but he was on C, because P said back in the day, we ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped. We bad boys for life. And he's still doing his thing. So it's like, but when you look at No Limit Soldier, they ain't necessarily doing it like that. So Diddy had a structure. He went in with A, B, C, D. When you look at No Limit, they was kind of on the money part. That's what they talked about a lot. Diddy was on all of it, right? So I was like, this, got it. I need to get certified. I need to study it. I need to understand it. Every book that's out, and it's been out since 1928. Scientific is all get out. It's been out since 1928. And they're probably, what did he say yesterday? How many different variations are there? 1,200 variations. So there are these guys from John Maxwell to you name them. And the group that he focuses on is good. So I'm telling y'all, this thing is, I'm like, let's go. All right. So then there's the attributes, right? Which is deep. And I learned in the attributes, there's some things I learned about myself, some blind spots I learned about myself in the attributes, which is phenomenal. And then the values, of course, the values was deep, because then that showed me who to align myself with, right? And so then there are certain people that I realized were tools. Like I said, Anthony Flynn, right? Jamal was another person that I felt like I needed to work with. Moose and Preach kind of came in, and somewhere during that time frame, I was like, yo, I'm the #1 motivational speaker in the world, and I'm making $56,000 a month. Like, something wrong with that. I'm not a rocket scientist, but I'm #1. I realized the systems was wrong. Something was wrong with the system. Nothing wrong with the people, but the systems were off. So I got Moose and Preach just because they both were high C's. That's what the disc told me. They high C's. They're structural people. That's how they think. So Moose came in, Preach came in, made some adjustments. What are the adjustments that you made? We're gonna go through this and stop questions, whatever. But I want y'all to see what has happened in my life since December. All from the tools. So I'm gonna ask you, what tools are you using? Like, what tools are you using to get better? Not you just self-assessing. Cause C said all the time, and yo, we really heavy on self-assessing. And I want y'all to see something. That's something that C put out, a mandate. How long ago was that mandate put out, C? 3 years ago. And I'm on it, y'all. It's not C saying it for y'all. Like, this is the boss. If the boss man say we focusing on self-assessing, how can I be a part of a brand and I'm not doing what he's telling us that we're supposed to be doing? So make sure your brand is in alignment. The stuff that you're saying, whatever you're saying is cool. It's your brand. We can't make up your brand for you. But make sure you're not saying it and you're not doing it. So for me, look who, Dan Gilbert used to say, we eat our own dog food. So I went to Ant, I went to Preach, I went to Moose. I didn't go outside the crew. I didn't have to go nowhere else to get this stuff. I went in-house and got it in-house, right? And got the information, everything changed. And guess what I had to do? What did I have to do to go from $50,000 to most months $300,000? What did I personally have to do? That's it. Did I do anything else physically? Anybody talk to me? Did I tell you I changed my voice? I started wearing a shirt and a tie. I started doing presentations now. I got presentations up. I'm just saying, did I say I did any of that? I said I did what? Yeah, but what did I do first? Self-assess. And when I self-assessed, self-assessment told me I needed to do what? Change the systems. So some of y'all gonna self-assess, and it's not gonna tell you to change the systems because you don't have a systems problem. But it might tell you that you might have to be more demanding in driving. It may tell you might need to be a little bit more gregarious and inspiring and enthusiastic. It might tell you that you might need to be a little bit more persistent, you know what I'm saying? And what is the other one? Complacent, right? In a positive sense, right? Does that make sense? So self-assess is first, right? So here are the other tools that I use. Professional development. I've got a young lady in my church named Ashley. She always sending me videos, just different stuff to listen to. Other personality tests, Jamal, they spelled this wrong. I hope you don't kill me. It's with an E. But Jamal and I had some heavy conversations just about, again, not necessarily doing what Maul did, but looking at myself and saying, just like you would invest in a house and you'd say, this house is worth this house is worth this, and this is for this child, this for this child. I started looking at myself and went, yo, bro, I got about 5, 6 more businesses just inside me that are like houses. Like I'm real estate right now. I got 6 other things I can do easily without having to do no work if I just rely on a D, on another couple more I, because I'm into, automation. So I'm not trying to do no more. But we got a conference called Verified Conference where she was like, yo, E, you need to start working with the eyes. Absolutely. I understand what I do, and I'm not the only one that can do it. Any eye that wants to do what I do, if they go through our program, they can be just as dynamic.